This week's Forex Forecast, we're going to be looking at all of the important supply and demand zones created by the large institutions and the banks in order to help you with your trading this week. All right, starting things off with the US dollar. And by the way, there are no caught report data this week due to American Thanksgiving, so we will be using purely technical analysis this week. So the US dollar has been rallying very steadily, and we just recently contacted this weekly/monthly area of supply that I've been talking about on my forecast for the past few weeks, and I said we were most likely going to be contacting this, and you can see that reaction that we are seeing off of it right now. It's a very bearish sign. I'm not quite bearish yet, and I highly recommend that you go back and after this video, go watch my past weekly Forex forecast and see the accuracy of my analysis. So we are reacting off of monthly, weekly supply on the US dollar index. I haven't seen a great shift in momentum just yet. We have a daily uptrend still holding. For me to be very, very bearish on the dollar, I would have to see this daily area of demand at 95.26 be removed. We have seen a 4-hour shift in momentum take place on Friday. So clearly, sellers are stepping in as we are contacting this weekly area of supply. But I'm bearish on the dollar, but I don't want to be shorting the dollar on other pairs just yet. So we're going to have to wait to see. Basically wait to see either a nice 4-hour downtrend to continue, something like that, where we can actually draw a 4-hour downward trend line like that, and then I'll look to short the US dollar. All right, looking at EURUSD, the past couple weeks I've been talking about how we are probably going to see a lot of these demand zones be removed on the euro, and we're going to push much lower. We actually broke weekly demand in this past week, and as a dollar has hit that monthly/weekly area of supply, we are starting to see the euro rally right now. So if you are long the euro, we just contacted this daily area of supply right here. I highly recommend maybe taking some profits off the table. I'm personally looking for longs in the euro, but not just quite yet. My targets to the long side on the euro, my first target would be 1.142. If you're looking to get in short, which I don't really recommend right now, your short side target would probably be 1.12. What I'm personally waiting for, and I talked about it last week on the euro, is a nice shift in momentum. We've kind of already had it, but there was never really a nice pullback, and I don't even really like getting long at zones like this. So for me, it's kind of a difficult thing to consider right now. I might actually wait for some sort of trend line like that to take place, kind of like how I just talked about on the US dollar. Wait for that trend to continue up, and then I might actually hop on a 15-minute time frame and look for 15-minute pullback, set and forget trades in a trending market for basically day trades. You can see my target would be up here, but I'm I'm looking to be bullish on the euro. Just haven't seen a significant amount of buyers step in yet. The best sign for me would be for this daily area of supply to be removed. So it'd have to break basically have to touch 1.138. Then I would start to look for pullbacks to the downside, get in long, and hopefully ride that momentum to the upside, because I do think that the euro is due for a move, especially considering the monthly demand that we are in on the euro and the monthly supply we are in on the dollar. All right, gold, XAUUSD. The past week, we contacted this weekly area of supply, and now we contacted this weekly area of demand. On the screen now, you should see my targets for the past week that I said would probably hit. We did hit 1800 on gold. Now we are reacting off of this weekly area of demand, but keep in mind this trend is very, very sideways. There basically is no trend on gold. So to go long in this area, not the best idea. I'm personally kind of just waiting on the sidelines on gold, but with the dollar and monthly supply, we could see a move up like this on the dollar, on gold. So keep in mind, and this is a crazy accuracy of supply and demand analysis. Go back, watch my past weekly Forex forecast. Look at what I was saying. I said we could easily react off this weekly supply, come down to 1800, and now we are reacting off of this. So it'll be very interesting to see if we do see a move up like this on gold. I'm not putting a lot of weight on it since there is no trend, but it's very possible that we do rally in gold up to here. Looking at a daily chart, there's not a lot of fresh zones here. If you are looking to get in long, my target to the long side would be 1850 on gold right up here. If you're looking to short, my target would be 1710 to the short side. But keep in mind, like I said, gold is in weekly demand, so for it to just drop down and break that weekly demand is kind of low odds, but it could very much happen. We do have a very decent uptrend on gold, although momentum has clearly been lost, and that'll be more visible on a lower time frame like a 4-hour chart. Clearly we're kind of trending down. So basically for me on gold, I'm basically waiting. What I'm going to want to see is going to be waiting for this 4-hour supply zone to break like this, create a lower low like that, and then a high, draw that trend line, and then I'll be on a 15-minute chart basically buying pullbacks, and that would be a 15-minute day trade coming off with a 4-hour uptrend and a 1-hour uptrend coming off of weekly area of demand. So in my opinion, I'm looking for longs on gold. Just going to have to wait to see that trend start to play out, and then I'll probably take profit at about 18.50 on gold. All right, on to USD Japanese yen. Our long target was hit exactly at 115.5, as you can see on the screen here, and our short side target at about 113.39 at this daily area of demand was hit as well. That is the accuracy of supply and demand analysis. For us to see a reaction up from this daily area of demand, I'm not putting too much weight on it. Like I said, the US dollar is looking going to be probably bearish in the next couple weeks in my opinion, so I'm not really looking to go long on this pair right now, but I'm not looking to go short either. For me to go short, I would have to see this daily demand be removed, and my target would be 112 to the short side. And if you are looking for longs on USD yen, which I don't really recommend, it could work out. My long target would still be the same at 115.5. Looking at a 4-hour chart, we've seen a clear shift in momentum, but we have no 4-hour trend. So in the next couple weeks, or at least next week, and by the way, I will be live trading next week during the New York session, so definitely check that out, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. So what I'm gonna have to wait for is for a higher high like that and a higher and a low like that. Sorry about the stutter. And then I'll be looking for 50-minute pullbacks, day trades on some of these pairs. So clearly next week for me is going to be more of a day trading type week. For me to get in swing positions might not happen. So I'm just not really seeing any trends right now. We're just kind of seeing that initial shift of momentum to the downside. Going to wait for that pullback, lower low, then I'll be hopping on a lower time frame to trade with that 4-hour trend coming off of weekly supply and that US dollar coming off of monthly area of supply. All right, GBPUSD, the British pound, we are in daily demand right now. So I'd be very cautious shorting the pound right now. Doesn't mean I want to be going long and basically shorting this daily downtrend either. If you're going to be shorting, my target would be 1.325. If you're going to be going in long, my long target would actually be 1.358 right up here. So for me to get in long the pound, I'm going to actually have to see this shift in momentum, maybe create some sort of demand zone right here. Maybe wait for that pullback and go to the upside. That's what I'm waiting for in the pound. Don't really want to be going in long right now and just kind of trading against that trend. I want to see price start to move. Another thing you could do is look out for this 4-hour chart right here. You could wait for something like this to take place like that and have that whole 4-hour downtrend be removed, and then maybe buy pullbacks to a 15-minute chart to the upside. Something like that would be a little more safe. If you don't really follow my videos, I'm a very conservative trader. I don't like to just pick falling knives. I like to wait for trends to take place. So I'm going to have to wait to see this supply and this downward trend line be removed on the pound, and that would basically go along with my US dollar short bias, I guess you could say. So going to be all dependent on the dollar, though, to see what the DXY does. We could also keep falling and the US dollar could continue strength, but I kind of doubt that's going to happen. So just got to be patient, wait for that nice shift of momentum on the pound. Maybe it might be a good time to get in long, but if you look at a weekly chart and a lot of these pairs, they're coming into significant areas of demand where you don't really want to be shorting. Like I always say, it's not my saying, but a lot of people say the trend is your friend till the bend at the end, and I think we might be coming up to that bend right now. All right, looking at USDCAD, we are coming up to a previous area of supply. It's already been tested once back here. We're coming up for a second test. It's all going to depend on that US dollar strength. We've seen a reaction off of this daily area of demand down here on USDCAD, and now we're pushing up back here. So it might be a good time to take some profits off on longs and maybe let the rest ride. USDCAD is probably not going to be on my watch list right now. Yes, we have a nice 4-hour trend and a 1-hour trend, so you could be buying 15-minute pullbacks, but the problem is that we are going to be facing this daily area of supply, so we could see a reaction like this. So I'm not really interested in trading USDCAD right now. There's just not even really a trend on the daily chart, so not really going to go into much more detail on this pair. Like I said, just be careful if you're in long. Maybe look to take profits right now. And I certainly probably wouldn't be shorting this one either, even though I am bearish the dollar. It's just not a lot of action on USD CAD as of late. All right, looking at Aussie USD, the Aussie dollar. We are coming into this monthly area of demand, and it's already been tested once right here. We're coming in for that second test, so it's not a great time to be shorting the Aussie right now. Yes, I know we are on some downtrends, but that trend at the end, or that bend at the end, could really be the end of that trend. So be very, very cautious shorting the Aussie right now. Does not mean I'm going to be going long either. Like I always say, all of this analysis is going to depend on the DXY. So certainly keep an eye out for that. We are in daily demand right now, so we could see a small reaction like this. But for me to start to get in long on the Aussie, I'm going to have to start to see this 4-hour trend start to change. We have a very clean 4-hour downtrend, so for me to feel comfortable getting in long, I'm gonna have to start to see this trend line be removed and this supply zone, something like this. Maybe get that pullback to the downside. Maybe have a 4-hour trend. You can start to day trade it. And as you can see, the theme of this video is I'm basically waiting to go long on a lot of these pairs, basically going short the dollar. Just gonna have to wait to see this trend line be removed. But it's a weird time in the market right now where, yes, we are with the trend, but we are contacting higher time frame areas of demand. And in my opinion, it's a time where you want to be very, very patient. A lot of my forecasts, sometimes there's times where it's like, yes, short all the way for sure, or go long. This is a forecast where I'm telling you guys, patience is going to be key. Wait for these shifts in momentum. On a lot of these pairs, I could see there being a lot of opportunities, especially if you start to see the DXY start to go down and change trend on the daily chart. All right, onto USD Swiss. We just contacted this weekly area of supply again as that dollar hits the monthly supply and weekly supply as well. But we are also contacting this daily area of demand. In my opinion, it's not a high probability area of demand, although we could see a small reaction like this. But if the US dollar starts to get weak, we could see that actually break through. So if you are going to short, I would target 0.915. If you feel like you want to get in long, a good long target would be 0.931. So it'd be a little bit of a small profit margin, but it could work out. Just definitely watch out for this daily area of demand right here. We could certainly see a reaction off of it like that and then come down like that. So basically not really interested in trading this pair right now. I think there's better pairs to be trading this upcoming week. All right, crude oil. What a day on Friday for crude oil. Huge move down almost 13%. We did break this weekly area of demand that I've been talking about, but I also said in the past couple forecasts that when we do come down to here, since there's so many weird looking candles in this area and there wasn't a very clear base right here, we could see a bigger move down and even test this trend line. And that's what we are seeing right now on oil. What I think is going to happen is we're going to see a bigger move down. We could actually come and contact this monthly area of demand again. And with supply and demand, the more times an area is tested, the weaker it gets. But I'm pretty bullish on oil, so I actually think we could see something like this take place, test this monthly area of demand again, and rally up from here. But I certainly wouldn't feel comfortable shorting oil, especially after this rally in price. So I'm basically waiting for longs on oil. And what I'm going to be personally looking for is for a shift in momentum on the daily chart. If you're going to go long, I would target 72.8 to the upside. If you're going to go short, I would target 65 to keep it very, very simple. For me to start to feel comfortable going in long, I'm going to have to start to see this downward trend start to be removed. I'm going to have to wait to see something like this, break this 4-hour supply zone and this trend line, and maybe get a pullback to the downside, something like that. But right now, I just don't want to be shorting oil since we're basically about to contact monthly demand again. But I also don't want to be going long and trading against this trend either. I want to wait to see buyers step up, then get a pullback and get in long on oil. Hopefully you guys found this weekly Forex forecast helpful. If you did, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like and check out the Patreon or YouTube membership if you need help finding your supply and demand zones. It's only $5 CAD per month. Hope to see you guys there and hope to see you in the next video.